Hello, Taurus. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Okay, Taurus, this one was a little bit difficult. And I think you've been stuck with this for a little bit. Now, some of you may be in total isolation because of this, and others of you just are choosing to back away from certain people and situations. But Winter is saying that you really shouldn't be sitting with any of this for too long. This is about letting things die away, right? But jealousy and then isolation, this one was rough. So jealousy is talking about reminding yourself that you are beyond the judgments of others. So this is like having your intentions not understood, or you being misunderstood in such a way that you're being punished. Now that may only be for some of you, but it says that this time will pass. Remind yourself and others that those who speak ill of all in their turn, and none shall escape their turn. So this is basically a reminder that if somebody is being really shitty right now and like completely misunderstanding your intentions, that's just their shadow side kind of being flung at you. Now, some of you may not resonate with that at all, but for those of you who need to hear this, I understand backing away from people who are treating you like garbage. But if you're going into isolation because of that, be careful about taking on what doesn't belong to you. So for me, the immediate feeling is having something projected onto you in such a degree that you can't be seen as anything else by that person other than that. No matter what you do or what you say, they will only ever see you in that light. But that is a direct reflection of what's going on within them. That has nothing to do with you. And some of you just may be dealing with a bunch of jealous people and you're wanting to back away from that. But whatever the situation is, if you're dealing with that, there's a very clear message of it's time for that to just kind of die and fall away. Because otherwise you may be missing out on other things that you could be experiencing. And I say that because of isolation. You're overall the King of Swords. And, the sword suit, for one, is always difficult. But with the King of Swords, other than the emotional detachment, we're talking about really thinking logically and reasonably about what is going on. Now, this may be a person that you're dealing with, but we'll see here with this King of Swords. Of course, I'm not a fan. I much would rather know how I feel about something than listening to the chatter going on in my head. Anyway, you, the Empress, or your ruling planet, Venus. So, in the past, I think for some of you, you've been very giving, very nurturing. This is the mother figure. But for you, moving from that to the King of Swords, now you may be just dealing with somebody who is not thinking about things like that. Like they may be more focused on mental pursuits, intellectual knowledge, whereas you are clearly wanting to grow something here, experience abundance, beauty, comfort, all the beautiful things with Venus. In the present, the King of Cups. Okay, so you may be the nurturing one when it comes to somebody who is trying to get to a place of emotional maturity. That would be the King of Cups. This is being smart about how you feel and how you think. But there's this nurturing, like wanting to grow a situation here with the Empress coming through. And, you know, I still don't know how I feel about that King of Swords. I feel a little bit iffy. But we'll see what's going on with the King of Cups, because this could be two very different sides of you where, you know, it's great that you've nurtured your emotions to the point where there's this maturity, and now we're able to think clearly because of it. You know, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, so future conditions, the Two of Cups. Now, this may be you really doing everything that you can to nurture a relationship that you have with someone in particular. But you also may have two different relationships going on. I say that because of the two kings, but because the King of Swords is the overall. You know, what I worry about here is that the emotions of another really get you in a place where you want to see this grow. You want to see the beauty in this situation. And here with the Two of Cups, you have this connection. And maybe I'm just being too negative, right? Absolutely. But I don't like the transition from King of Cups to King of Swords. But either way, the Two of Cups in future conditions is talking about the connection that you have with one person, the importance of that relationship. And does this person feel the way that you do? And do they see things the way that you do? Yeah, I'm telling you, you know, this isn't going to be for everybody. You will know if this is your message, right? Don't make a story fit that doesn't. I hate the fact that I have to say that. But the Five of Cups is your advice. We're talking about the loss of emotion. And I say that because of him being here. Now, this may be somebody who is deciding that a relationship isn't exactly what they want, and this is about, you know, don't forget here that you still have this opportunity to have the connection that you want. But there's the sadness here, right? And then, you know, I go back to your oracle cards and think, yeah, with winter and isolation, you know, it just, if something may be calling for you to use emotional maturity right now too. And this may be a way for you to, you know, bring in this nurturing, compassionate side of you to kind of work things out, you know, but doing so from logic and reason. But I don't know, the King of Swords and the Five of Cups is like, oh, ugh. All right. In your environment, the Eight of Swords. This is like being so stuck in all of, you know, the reasons why and all this and that there is no freedom for emotions. Like, the King of Cups doesn't really, he's a loving person, absolutely, but he's not as expressive as the Queen. Now, the emotions of another may have made you feel like trapped and unable to speak about your own feelings. And this may be where the Two of Cups is coming in future conditions, where there may be this opportunity to finally say, look, that didn't feel so good. But doing it, you know, again, from a place of emotional maturity, being stuck with thoughts, but being smart about how you emotionally respond to it. Your hopes and your fears, justice, yeah, we want things corrected. And this may be hoping that somebody can clearly see that by making amends, things can get back in balance and the connection can be better. And this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. You know, again, it could be any connection that you have with another person. But there is some disappointment, especially when it comes to the way that this person is thinking. The King of Swords is dead set in his frame of mind. It would take a lot for him to change the way that he's thinking. And that may be the problem that you're dealing with, but I think there's a part of you that knows from past experience that there is this emotional side, and this is like what you're wanting to nurture in that person. But the fear there with justice would be that, you know, things remain imbalanced. But we want to make amends. This is accountability. This is correcting the issue. But if you're dealing with someone who is stuck emotionally, their thoughts and their unwillingness to change that may be causing some disappointment for you. Wow, man. And then coming out, the Queen of Cups. And again, I'm looking at you, right? Like, and this may be where you finally get to a point where you have an understanding in this relationship where they have their own thoughts and their own views and the way that they see things, but you know how you feel. You know how you feel. And this may be you finally realizing that your own emotions have been trapped because of, you know, the like, it almost feels stubborn, but you're talking about somebody who absolutely believes that, you know, what they think is truth. But I cannot look past the disappointment that's happening here and this need for accountability and things to be balanced back out. Now, for some of you, this could be about, you know, needing to separate and realize that emotional maturity is not something that is, you know, going to help with this situation. Like, you can't expect this person to open up emotionally. All they want to see is how they're thinking and how they're viewing things. There's Virgo. Oh yeah, the Ten of Swords. And then the Six of Pentacles. So, and again with isolation, the Hermit and the Empress. For some of you, you may have withdrawn. And where you were nurturing before and wanting to make things grow, I think what's more important to grow is your healing. Like, I look at her and I think this is self-love now. Where you're open and nurturing everything and everybody else around you. Now it's about nurturing yourself and your emotions. And that may be what's going on here with the Hermit. But then with the Ten of Swords, again, it's a painful situation that's coming to an end. You know, and that may mean the end of a relationship for some of you. For others of you, it's end of pain within one. But with the Six of Pentacles, equal give and take here. If you can't talk about your emotions, there's a problem. You know, it's like, it's almost like dealing with somebody who is only concerned with their own ego and their own thoughts. Because I'm looking at this and going, yeah, somebody is feeling really hurt about this. And for some of you, you may step away, go into that isolation and realize that, you know, things aren't going to change here and it hurts, but it's time for you to start giving more to yourself rather than continuing to give to a situation that you have fears around whether or not it's going to be amended. Wow, man, this one, you know, I always hope for the best for everybody that I'm reading for. But I'm not going to bullshit if I'm feeling something off. And again, it's not going to be for everybody. Inner voice, you know, the hermit, right? Break free. Telling you. Heal heart and spirit. Your inner voice is telling you that you need to break free from this so that you can heal your heart and your spirit. You know, in the other thing here for me looking at this, I think that it's unfortunate that this person does not realize how much you were willing to give. Uncovering treasure, beneath the surface lies great bounty. And then passion and pleasure savor your life. If you find yourself in this situation, you need to break yourself free from the mental and emotional traps that may be being caused by the thinking of another person. They may think that they're just in the way that they're thinking, but you wouldn't be feeling emotional pain if that were the truth. And the best way for you to feel passion and pleasure again is to nurture yourself and your own emotional well-being and being aware of what you're investing into emotionally, physically. And I think that's something about this. It's like when I'm looking at uncovering treasure, there's been a part of you that's been suppressed, that has an opportunity now to come back in a way where, you know, all the beautiful things about yourself are coming back in such a way that you get to enjoy your life. And again, it's not going to be for everybody, but for those of you who do resonate with this, if you can't talk about your emotions, that's something that you're going to want to look at within a relationship.